Amira, we are still on the scene where the worst flash flooding we've seen happened. It's been more than 36 hours since this happened. They're still kind of digging through this heap here because they've heard a smell and they suspect that there could be somebody still under there. They have reason to think that because just across the road over on this side, we were here yesterday and they were digging through that section for hours. It's only today that they were able to pull out the body of a young man there. And they only started to do that because one of the neighbors reported hearing a phone vibrating. So again, this is the situation here. Most of these are not professionals. They're not first responders. They're not equipped for this. They're just neighbors, relatives who are still missing, neighbors, they're missing the family members. And because no one else is helping, they are using whatever they have, mostly their bare hands, or they're using garden hose just to try and make sure that everybody is accounted for. There are dozens that are still missing from this tragedy that happened early Monday morning. It's the worst devastation that Kenya has seen since the heavy rains began back in March. The exact death toll is still climbing, and we've been speaking to so many family members, one who lost 9 family members. We spoke to a young mother who lost her 3-year-old son on his birthday. She is devastated, and yet there's so many other stories. An entire village almost wiped out with these raging waters that hit them at 3 a.m. when they were asleep, and they had no time to prepare for any of it at all. President William Ruto has called these people the victims of climate change, and she says this is going to be the new normal. If it's not the extreme weather events of flooding, it is droughts, and that's something that's here in East Africa and the Horn of Africa has become very common.
Yep.
All of East Africa has seen some serious heavy rainfall. Tanzania has reported 155 people dead. And the forecast, Amara, is that there's still more rain to come.
Oh, that's awful. And we're seeing it play out there right behind you, right over your right shoulder. You know, there's a half a dozen men there at least using a rope trying to pull something quite heavy, but it's not budging. Is it a part of a tree, maybe a branch? But on that note, I mean, what kind of help are they getting from the government?
They've been getting some help, but it is clearly not enough, because you can see from there that is a whole tree that was uprooted, Amara, that they're trying to pull off, and they don't have any of the proper implements to do that. They're using what they can. They haven't had any sort of heavy-duty military equipment, earth-moving equipment to do this. They fear that one of their neighbors could still be under that heap, and they're just trying to do what they can. They're well-meaning people who are trying to make sure that everyone is accounted for. There's been a lot of criticism for how the government has responded to this, and the fact that even this tunnel burst in the first place speaks to the lack of maintenance for it, and this community is living with the effects of that.
What an awful situation, and the fact that the threat of more severe weather is not over. Larry Madowo, thank you so much for being there.